Hello, I'm Lauren Bellin, and I am making this quick video this morning because I have heard from so many people that you would love to attend a class, to try out essential oils, to put them on, to experience them, to smell them, and you're finding it really hard to make the time or find the time to do that. You want to go, but then you're putting the kids to bed at night, or weekends or family time, or you're taking kids to sports practice. Some people have shared with me that you want to spend a lot of time on Pinterest or doing some research online about how to make some of your own beauty products or your own deodorant or skincare or cleaning products. But then, after bedtime, kids are in bed, everything's all set, you finally have some free time, and all you feel like doing sitting on the couch and watching Scandal, which I totally get and can relate to. So my business partner, Christy, recently made a video that she created for exactly this reason, to share with busy moms. And when she did that, I was reminded that I can really relate to this dilemma of never getting around to doing something you've been curious about or wanting to do, because I have been meaning to put together a class or a video or something to share with particularly the women in my life, but also the men who are also parenting kids with emotional or behavioral special needs. Basically, I think of it as extreme parenting. So, everything that my friend Christy put into her video for busy moms applied beautifully to our lives, but there are some extras that I've really been wanting to share based on what's been really supportive in our family. And I do want you to know, like I said, I know exactly how you feel because I have been meaning to do this for a very long time. So I'm often escaping to the bathroom to get things done around here. I don't know if you can relate to that. Right now, my kids are at school, which is why I can come to you from my kitchen instead of my bathroom. But I have to do this quickly today because I do need to go pick them up. It's early release day. So I promise you this is going to be a very quick, fast, easy, just the basics, ma'am, class on using your oils with kids who have extra needs. And I decided not to just wait until I had everything all set and beautiful and perfect. And I just decided to just get it done and do it exactly the way I am today. So I haven't put on makeup. This is just me coming to you from my kitchen before I leave to go pick up the kids. So here's what I want to talk to you about. I do think there are a handful of things that are important, especially to not just busy moms, but to busy parents who are doing this whole thing of extreme parenting. And these things that I think are pretty particularly important to us are sleep, stress, worries, and mood, keeping everybody healthy in the winter especially, energy, gut health and poop, fun stuff, focus and attention, and then for all parents, stink, I think, is important in the house. And then finally, physical comfort. So those are the areas that I want to really focus on today. And I just want to let you know, too, there were two reasons that I really started using essential oils more than just casually or to make our own lip balm like we used to do years ago. We were doing everything we could a few years ago to really understand what was going on with our son, to support him, to stabilize him. We have since become quite clear in working with him and working with a number of support professionals on our team that what he's working with and what we're working with is a mood disorder, and it happens to be one that runs elsewhere in our family. But at the same time we were starting to explore all of this, we were also just cleaning everything up, from our nutrition to our cleaning products to our skincare and more, just looking to make sure that everything going into our bodies was helping our bodies and that we were getting kind of the toxic junk out of the house. So we were in the process as well of diving down dozens of rabbit holes, looking for tools that could help with behaviors that we were seeing and just the everyday challenges of extreme parenting. Then the second reason that I really found them intriguing, and when my friend Christy shared them with me, that I decided to explore them more, was this whole concept of the you're on your own time, right? 5 p.m. Friday night to 9 a.m. Monday morning. Even now, actually, with the world's most awesome support team in place, fabulous therapists, really solid. We even had in-home therapists working with us for a couple of years. Lots of people on call even. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, I feel like between those hours and sometimes on weekday evenings too, it's just us. We're here. There's no one else. There's no one or no place to just tag out and say, I can't do this right now. You're on your own time. And, this is true for all parents. I think, pediatrician offices close on the weekends. All of the experts are home with their families, and rightly so, over the weekend. But that leaves us often trying to figure out what to do. And I don't know about you, but in my family and in my home, it's always during that you're on your own time that things go awry. And, oils, I will never tell you, oils have not been, I didn't drop oils on my son's head and then say, oh, he's cured. He's not bipolar anymore. But they have been an incredibly amazing tool in our toolkit for parenting him and for practicing extreme parenting. And they've also been an amazing tool just in my mama's toolkit in general. So, to be perfectly honest, they sometimes make me feel like a superhero, and they really help me practice what I also call, extreme self-care triage, which is sometimes the best we can manage in the midst of our extreme parenting. All right, so I'm just going to dive in really quick through the oils now. Sleep. So, I think all of us, when we have babies, realize that sleep is really important. It was my biggest fear about parenting, was what it was going to be like to lose sleep, and I was not wrong. It's one of the hardest things. If they don't sleep, we don't sleep. So, and in my son's case, we also dealt with years of wake-ups for the day from 3 to 5 a.m. and a whole month of him waking up at midnight for the day. So sleep has become a very important piece of the equation in our household. And there are a couple of oils that I think can be there are BFFs when it comes to sleep in our house. So lavender is one that I think most everybody is familiar with. Lavender is fabulous. I diffuse it. I put it in our diffuser about half an hour before bedtime, and it just kind of sets the stage. So kids are getting ready for bed. They're reading with dad. They're brushing their teeth. And the lavender is just in the room, and it is setting the stage for a really fast, easy, smooth bedtime. I also will sometimes rub lavender on my kids' feet, or my daughter really likes to have oils put on her stuffies, her stuffed animals. And it's been a lifesaver. I have friends who've tracked their wake ups pre-lavender and post-lavender with their Fitbits, and the results are pretty incredible. Stress Away is our other go-to at night. My daughter is prone to nightmares, and actually so is my son, but it's been a bigger issue recently for my daughter. So she keeps a little roll-on bottle of Stress Away in her room, and she'll just rub it on her wrists. And it really helps her feel brave, and it also helps her kind of settle down and feel less stressed. And actually, speaking of stress, worries, and mood, and this goes both ways, right? This is for us as the practitioners of extreme parenting. This is also for our kids, because I think they're experiencing more stress than we wish they would at their age. And for them, sometimes worries and mood are a challenge as well. So Stress Away, I've heard this referred to by some people as a personal portable crack stick for moms, and I think it's a pretty apt description. I think of this as my count to 10 oil. I put a drop on my wrists, and I just inhale, just smell it right up. And I find myself using this often throughout the day. I am never without this. There's one that lives in my car. There's one that lives in my daughter's room, one in my son's room, one in my purse, one in my kitchen. I keep it everywhere. It's a great one to have on hand when you're cooking dinner. I don't know if that's a tricky part of your day. Sometimes that's hard in our house. It's also great when you're trying to get everybody out the door. Sometimes that's another fun time of day. In the mornings, Stress Away is a good one for getting my son on the bus. Frankincense is another really fantastic tool for stress, worries, and mood. Some people call this Frank. Other people call it the attitude adjuster. So if you have cranky people in your house, I never have any of those. But if there are cranky people, even folks who are feeling a little defiant in any given moment, we just put this right in the diffuser and we get an attitude adjustment pretty quickly. So this one is also just very grounding. You can go ahead online and Google the word sesquiterpenes. It's a molecule. It's a type of molecule that there is an abundance of in frankincense, and it does some really cool stuff that you can research for yourself if you feel like it, or you don't have to. But I keep frankincense handy as well. It's very grounding. I also use it on my face at night. It's very, very good for the skin, and it manages to kind of keep me grounded and calm and relaxed. At the same time, it makes my skin crazy soft. And let's see. It's a good one for stress levels and keeping stress levels low. Citrus oils are really, I think, fantastic for mood support. Lemon oil is a nice one that I've never met a child who does not like lemon. It smells like sunshine in a bottle. Love it. I actually cannot. I've tried to smell lemon and then not immediately smile, and I just smile whenever I smell lemon oil. Wonderful for keeping stress levels down. Really accessible scent for kids. It's not weird smelling. It smells very familiar and very pleasant and sweet. So it's a really nice one to use for kids as well, and really nice for the stress levels in the body and for just calming, taking things down a notch, but also kind of providing some positive feelings. And then finally, lavender, which we mentioned when we were talking about sleep. Lavender is another nice one for dealing with stress and worries. It can really help. I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes the thinking won't stop. Sometimes in bed at night, I can't turn my brain off. My son is the same way. Lavender is really helpful for this as well, either in the diffuser or, again, you can put it on wrists, on the bottom of feet. Let's see, I also, while we're talking about kids, I also will usually recommend that when oils are new in a family, when your kids aren't already used to them, I always recommend using them on yourself. You know, kids always end up coming in close somewhere. And if I have lavender on me, if I have, citrus oils on me, if I have Stress Away on me, my kids are going to get the benefit of that. They often will end up asking for it, but sometimes I don't even need to put it on them in order to settle the mood of everybody in the house. Now, again, don't know if your kids are like mine, but the moment I look at my kids and say, here, I'm going to fix something that's going on with you, put this on, they're like, no, they're having none of that. So I tend to recommend to adults that we don't be too prescriptive with our kids, and that instead we really focus on being inviting. I'll ask my kids to pick out the oils for the diffuser in the morning, and that kind of thing is a good way to approach kids with oils. So next up is keeping everyone healthy. We often know that my son is coming down with something because he has a behavioral spike. Now, I'm going to tell you that keeping everyone healthy and kind of keeping our immune system supercharged, we do a lot with our nutrition for this, but it's extra important in our household because those behavioral effects are so big. And I will do anything to keep us all healthy in the winter and to keep that stuff to a minimum. So the big powerhouse here is a blend that you might have heard of called Thieves. And this one for children, we do dilute this one. It has some pretty intense oils in it. Dilute it, put it on their feet, put the socks over their feet at night. I'll sometimes dilute it and rub it up and down their spines. And I use this on myself as well. I keep several roll-on bottles. I keep one in my kitchen cupboard and one in my bathroom cupboard, and I keep one in my bedroom. And we just have these little roll-on bottles that they're already mixed with carrier oil, so we can just rub them on. If we're at a play date or if we're having a play date here, I'll put the Thieves in the diffuser to just keep the air really clean and really healthy during the winter. That's kind of how we use Thieves. And RC is another really awesome lifesaver because when my son needs respiratory support, he becomes convinced sometimes that he's going to actually not be able to breathe ever again. And he really has a hard time going to sleep because he gets so worried about it. So for us, RC, when we're needing some extra respiratory support in the winter, can be really helpful. And, we say this is for anyone who wants to breathe well during the winter months. And I will also mix this with some coconut oil and keep it in a little jar. And I use it as a homemade chest rub. I'll rub it on chests and rub it on backs in the winter when people are needing to kind of open everything up in there. Now, another, I think, really key issue for moms and dads who are doing some extreme parenting is often focus and attention, and supporting our kids with their focus and attention when they're doing homework, when they're doing other things, chores, things like that, where they really need to kind of be focused, and they might need a little extra help with that. So again, we're going to go back to Frank, which is going to be good in two ways because it's going to help with the focus and attention. Where's my Frank? There it is. It's going to help with the focus and attention, but it's also going to help with the attitude about things like chores and homework. So frankincense can be your buddy there. Another great friend, if you're having a child who's kind of, sometimes my son will sort of get like sleepy with homework and things like that. So peppermint is a nice one to put in the diffuser, and it just kind of wakes you right up. In fact, I'm going to take a little whiff of that right now. I have a friend who worked in medical sales for a long time, and she was always traveling by car, and so she would actually diffuse this in her car. We do have car diffusers too. And she would use this instead of, she used to like open her window and pinch herself and drink tons of coffee to stay awake, but then peppermint took the place of all of that for her. So it's a really nice one for alertness. Don't do it right before bedtime though. If your son's like mine, you don't want to do it right before bedtime. A little bit before, if they're doing homework, like around dinner time, before dinner time, that's perfect. So lemon is also another one that you can use to combine with peppermint. They go really nicely together and they just kind of uplift people and wake them up at the same time. Now, energy is so important, and I just realized I didn't even set this up, so this is my imperfect video, but energy, my big trick for energy, my big secret, in addition to peppermint, which does help with the alertness and with energy and kind of waking you up, is this. It's called Ningxia Red. And this is made with a fruit called wolfberries. It's a juice made with Ningxia Red wolfberries. And it is ridiculously crazy high in antioxidants. And, you know, if I was going to go to the grocery store to buy enough produce to take the place of this packet of like 2 ounces of Ningxia Red, I would go broke. So I love this. My kids love this. We just do like a packet a day of it. And, you know, I drink it because I know it's healthy for me. I'm clear on that. I'm clear on the importance of antioxidants. But what I actually really love about it is the way it makes me feel. I feel, you know, it has taken the place of coffee. I said it never would, but I actually said that not too long ago. And then I've been doing an experiment. I've been doing a 30-day challenge with Ningxia Red to see what it would really be like if I really focused on having this every single day. And it's made a huge difference. So that's fabulous for energy. And my kids, you know, love it because they say it makes them feel like they're superheroes. It gives them extra energy too. It also helps nails and hair grow faster, which has been kind of a funny side effect as well. Now, gut and poop. So again, a lot of kids with some kind of extra needs, and a lot of times when we're practicing some extreme parenting, kids who get really nervous often have nervous poop. We'll just call it that. You know, and some kids tend more toward what my friend Christy calls shy poop. So life works better when everybody is pooping well and pooping normally. So there are 2 different oils that I really love for this. One of them is peppermint. Once again, great for the shy poopers. Just rub it right on the belly. Sometimes even just inhaling it is really nice. And peppermint's also nice for those kids whose tummies are not feeling kind of happy and settled during car rides or during boat rides or plane rides. It can be very settling. The other is this oil blend called Digize, and this one is really helpful for the nervous poopers, I've found. And again, rubbing it right on the belly, sometimes even just inhaling it is enough. Finally, the stink. The stink. I have a 9-year-old boy, you guys. He smells. He's starting to smell. So, you know, whether it's the diaper pails that, you know, the earlier stages of parenting, you can put this blend, Purification, on cotton balls and put them right into the diaper pail. You can also use Purification. We're more likely to put them on cotton balls and into sneakers these days because those do not smell good otherwise. It just takes the stink right out of the air. It doesn't like add on to it. It seems to just pull it right out. I have a friend whose dog got skunked and she said this, a rub down with this worked better than anything else. So older boys, I know some folks will put a drop of Purification in armpits for boys when they're just starting to need deodorant, sports bags, that kind of stuff. It's, like I said, it's different than an air freshener. It actually seems to remove the smell from the air. And I also will diffuse it. So this is the other thing. My kids are really sensitive. My son in particular is very sensitive to odors in the air. So if we cook fish or if we cook broccoli or if we cook onions, he tends to freak out a little bit. So I will diffuse Purification in the kitchen while I cook those things and it just sucks it right out of the air. All right. That is my super quick, super fast, super easy intro to oils for parents who are doing extreme parenting. If you are the type of person and you want to just keep researching this tons, please have at it. I did that. It's my style. But if you are like I am increasingly feeling these days, super busy, and you just want a quick, honest recommendation to figure out kind of what company to use and what to get, here's what I recommend. I've used a lot of different oils over the years. At this point, I primarily use Young Living oils. The reason, and I'm not one of those, you'll hear from some people who say there's only one brand of oil that's safe to use or good to use. And I don't agree with that. What I do feel strongly about, though, is that Young Living uses something called a seed to seal process, or they have a seed to seal commitment. So I think everybody's heard of farm to table. Young Living does that with botanicals and their oils. They actually have their own farms around the world. They grow many of their own botanicals. They have partner farms they work closely with. They pay very close attention to the sourcing of their botanicals. And they manage the whole process of growth to harvesting to distillation to packaging, bottling, and testing themselves. And it's a very controlled process and a lot of attention and integrity in that process. And not only that, but also transparency. I've walked through fields of lavender, clary sage, chamomile at one of Young Living's farms. I have friends who've been, in Idaho, at one of the spruce farms. I've had friends who've been to farms in Ecuador, actually smelling ylang ylang still on the stem. I know this company very well, and I trust their sourcing. If I'm going to pay attention to the sourcing of other things like food that I put into my body, why not my oils, which are also going right into my bloodstream and into my kids? So that's why I really have chosen Young Living and kind of settled on Young Living as a company. I think it's really, really important to pay attention to purity and sourcing. So, I know it's a little tricky. Oils are kind of popping up everywhere. You can get them on Amazon, health food stores, Whole Foods, but not all oils are created equal, and not all oils are sourced well and sustainably. I personally think that the very best way to get started with Young Living and with oils is to get a starter kit. You get a box, and it comes with a diffuser, and it comes with the oils I talked about today, as well as a couple of others. They also send you, I don't know if did I take any out? I was going to show you some sample packets. They also send you these cute little sample packets. So if you have, mom friends who are at your house and see your diffuser, don't give them your whole bottle of like peppermint. Give them a packet of peppermint instead. Comes with all sorts of goodies. It comes with some Ningxia Red and some helpful reference materials as well. And we've also got this phenomenal, amazing team that provides a lot of support in different ways, both online and personally, to our team members, because the last thing we want is for you to get oils and have them like gather dust on a shelf. That is no good. These are like little bottles of gold, and we want to make sure you know how to use them, that you feel empowered, you feel confident, and you know how to use them safely and well. So if you do want to get started, you can reach out to me, or if somebody else shared this video with you, reach out to them. It is as quick to order a Young Living starter kit as it is to go online and like restock your toilet paper or the tuna fish that we get from Subscribe and Save on Amazon. So it's super fast, and you could literally take care of it. Like if you have bathroom hideout time, I go hide in the bathroom sometimes to do stuff. If you could do it the next time you're hiding in the bathroom. I promise you that a year from now, you will be so glad that you got started with these.